So, there's no doubt that each Splatoon game is handedly better than the one that came before, but if I were to identify the Splatoon game that I got the most into and sank the most hours into, there's also no doubt there. It's the original Splatoon. If you were around at the time, you definitely remember. The game was fresh and exciting to a degree nothing else on the system could match. Nintendo was finally doing their take on a competitive shooter, and it was a slam dunk new IP, the likes of which they hadn't seen since the Wii Sports era. Immediately, we had a new batch of Nintendo icons, another all-time classic soundtrack, and within just a month or two, Splatoon would outsell the lifetime units of new releases from so-called Nintendo legends. I usually don't get too deep into historical significance in this show, but Splatoon was too much of a triumph when it had the deck completely stacked against it. But talking about the game itself, and talking about having the deck stacked against you, Splatoon made the incredibly wise yet controversial choice to strongly emphasize motion controls in its aiming system. No matter how much time passes, no matter how beloved a game otherwise is, there will always be a sect of people who passionately oppose the implementation of motion controls in video games. But if there is one single instance where there is no argument that can be made against it, it is Splatoon. It was such a successful integration that it became frowned upon for any shooter to be put on a Nintendo console without motion controls. Shoot! Getting into history again, sorry. Okay, something I like about Splatoon that no one else does. My weapon, the vanilla Jet Squelcher. The Jet Squelcher is my favorite weapon across the entire series, no matter how many people told me it sucked in this game. Weapons feel so distinct from each other in Splatoon, and normally that's for really cool reasons, like you're using a literal paintbrush or you're just splashing people with a paint bucket. But in my case, it's for dumb, nerdy mechanical reasons. I love the feeling of knowing that I can outrange any other rapid-fire weapon in the game, while also knowing that I'll have the reaction time to retaliate from any surprise attacks that come my way. I feel incredibly safe with this weapon, especially with a tactical nuke you get strapped on your back. I very rarely have a connection with my weapon in a shooter so personal that it feels on par with the connection I can have with my favorite character in a fighting game, but the Jet Squelcher did that for me. And let's just blast through some of these real quick. The single player mode's an all-time great, the special moves are really cool in this one, Splatfests are fun, and I love the mini-games you can play on the gamepad while you wait for a match. Huge downgrade in the sequels that they weren't able to keep that around. Sorry for the rush, we were just running out of time for this one.